channel. This is Tyra. So I think for the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to talk a bit about life and life stuff, and afterwards I think I'm going to show you a bit about what I've been doing on my diamond painting, and then we're going to move on to flosstube. It's been 14 days since I've last done a video, so I thought that I would just put the two things together and make one video, because it doesn't make sense to make two, because I have only worked on one diamond painting and haven't really bought anything. So let's do that, and at the end there will be some floss haul. But so for you who wants to skip ahead, you're welcome, and if you're new, very welcome. I see there are some new subscribers to my channel. I'm happy to have you on board. If you like what you see and so on, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and comment below, because I really love to see your comments. I'm trying to get to them as soon as possible. So just comment, and if you've got any questions and so on, I will try and address them as best as I can. Yeah, so live stuff. First of all, I've been preparing myself, because I've made myself a note about what I wanted to talk about, because there's lots have happened, hasn't it? So last time I posted the video, I was still getting over my virus thing, and it was probably the flu. And now I'm completely recovered from that one, and doing fine. We were supposed to have been going to Paris, as I've been talking about, and everything got cancelled. Of course it did. So the trip has been postponed to September, I think. August or September. I still need to book some flights at Air France for 10 people. So I need to call them. And then hopefully, fingers crossed and so on, we will be able to go and enjoy ourselves again. But nobody really knows at this time, do they? So, but let's see. Another thing is that we were all sent home. I think it's now, we are running on the 3rd week. So I've been working from home more or less 3 weeks in a row now, and I've been sick, so I've been home for almost a month. It's completely nuts, isn't it? I haven't been home that much since we've got the children, yeah. But I'm hoping that with the homeschooling and so on really now being under control, many of the teachers in my schools, my sons and daughters' schools, are doing something called Google Hangouts. I'm so impressed with it, because I'm on Skype and on Peps EP, I think it's called, on my work, and we are having really issues with having it to work with 10 or 20 people at the same time. But they are meeting every day on every school day on Google Meets, and the total class is there, and they can see each other, and they're speaking and so on. So my daughter is quite pleased with it. It's like something is a bit normal now, and they've got a schedule, so they know which assignments they need to do. My daughter thinks that she's probably doing a bit better at home, where she's more left to herself than in the school, but she's missing all of her friends. So it's she definitely never wants to be homeschooled again. My son is at the same thing. They're missing their friends, of course they are. But we are practicing social distancing, so they haven't had any friends visiting them. The only person who's going out of the house sometimes is my husband, because he's going to work on the refinery where he's working. So I think he's going on Monday, and then he's working from home. So last week, both of us were working from home, and he's sitting right behind me. So I had to go out some times, or he had to go out to answer telephone calls, virtual meetings, and so on. And Friday, my team had a group session, a virtual Friday beer. Let's have a beer of work session before we go on vacation, because we've all been forced to use our spare vacation that we had left for the year. Our vacation year ends by 30th of April. So we had to spend the rest of it, which is completely fine with me. So we had a session, a virtual session, and that was really nice. So if you have colleagues and so on, it's really a really nice way. And I can also understand there's a lot of stitching groups and so on which has started to do that. I think that the virtual stitchers on Facebook also has reopened for joinment, which it's been closed for a while. I think I'm not a member of it, and I don't think that I'm going to be a member of it. But for you who wants to join, I think it has reopened for memberships, so you can go in there if you feel like it, and participate in the stitching sessions and so on. It sounds fun, so just a hint through my notes again. So yeah, we've got homeschooling and so on. Oh, my coffee has got cold. Not good. No. Small things, isn't it? So let's see. As I was talking about, we have had these virtual sessions and so on. And at my work, we also had a town hall meeting where our management were talking about the situations and so on, and they told us that one of our colleagues that I work together with is down with the virus, and she's really down with the virus because she's in the emergency care and has been put under for ventilation. So she's last thing that I heard is that she's doing okay for what it is. They don't know what way it's going to go. So she's been on a ventilator now for 4 days, I think. So, but they say that it's possible that she will have to be on it for up to 15 days. So she's 46 years old. That's not really okay, is it? So fingers crossed that she's going to be okay, together with all the other people who's suffering at the moment. So remember, social distancing, 3 meters apart, 2 meters apart. Wipe your hands, wash, and so on. And remember to clean surfaces and so on. And some have started to wear masks outside. We are not practicing it here in Denmark because they're not sure that it's going to be helpful, because if we transmit anything, we do it from the surfaces. And with the mask on, if you take something, you're touching your eyes, for instance, and then the mask won't help. So they've started up a study here in Denmark, which they will have the results on May, where they test 2 groups of people. One group will be wearing masks outside and the other one will not, and then they will see who gets, if the infection rate is higher for them who's not wearing masks. So I think that's a really good idea that they're trying to do it. But if you have a mask available, then just wear it, and remember to sanitize it and pull it out from the inside, not from the outside, and don't wear it longer than for a couple of hours, because that's not healthy for you either. So be careful, that's all. Another thing is that today we just heard that they here in Denmark are planning to come with a reopening plan tomorrow of the country, because they are seeing it's going down with the amount of people being admitted to the hospital. So that's really, really nice. So just for those of you who might say, oh, does this work? The social distancing, the isolation, the quarantines and so on, does it work? Yes, apparently it does, because here they're now starting to let go a bit and hopefully start to reopen the country a bit at a time. Because as they're saying to us is that they're not trying to kill off the virus, because it's not going to die out. It's just going to be prolonged. So 10% of the population are going to be affected with it, and that's just it. You're probably, for us to grow some sort of immunity, 60% of the population needs to be contracted with the virus. So it's going to be a long haul. So I think they're trying to open up and see how it affects the spread. There's now talking about sending the children back in teams to minimize the risk of spreading the virus and so on. So yeah, let's see tomorrow. That's going to be exciting. Otherwise, we've been working in the garden, and one thing is that people are saying, and I'm really envying them, because they're saying, oh, they're getting so much stitching done, so much crafting done. I'm not. Because we're all here. You don't really get the peace and quiet and so on as you do sometimes in the days, and it's nothing bad at all. You just live another way because you want to go out in the garden. You've got time for doing all of these projects which you haven't done for a long time with a full-time job and so on. There's just a lot of things we haven't done, and my husband has bought us a robot lawnmower which he's put down, and yeah, we've just been doing a lot of things which we've been talking about doing, but we haven't had the time for doing. So yeah, now I've been plabbling for the moment. So let's go into all of this, what I have been doing, because I've done a bit, not much, a bit. So let's take the diamond painting first. As you know from last time, I was working on my Van Gogh painting, and I have been doing one, working on it a bit more. Perhaps I should just, sorry for all of the crinkling sound, I'm just going to remove the cover on it. If I can. And put these down here. I just had some loose strips. So yeah, it is. It's not completed, but you can see most of the outline. It's all filled out down here. I still have some up here where I'm sticking. So, but in the lower corner, it's filled up till here. I think it's okay, and then I just need to do the rest. You can see what is missing. So I think I'm a bit over halfway there, hoping to complete it perhaps this week or next week. Just working a bit of it on it every day. It's a fun piece, and if I just fold it, you can better see it. And as you can see, there's rhinestones here, and I don't know if you can catch it, but the white drills, they are AB drills. I don't know, you can't see it. They are really sparkly, and I think you can see here how much it sparkles. I think my mom is going to love it when it's done, and she can get it. Oh yeah, another thing is what we were also, they live an hour away from us, so we went over there and did some shopping for them and left it outside with 2 meters apart from us, and talked to them a bit, and then we went home. And so we had a 2-hour drive to give them their food and so on, and then go back home. But that's just it. There, my father has had a major heart operation, and my mom is not doing too well either, so they're definitely in the risk zone of getting really ill with the virus, and we are taking no chances. So but as she's saying, my mom, it's almost more worse than under the Second World War, which they remember, because you could move around in the war. You can't really move around, and I know it's not the same thing, and there's many more killed and so on, but for them it's really, really hard because they can't see anybody at the moment, and they're not tech whiz. So we've been trying to introduce them more times to FaceTime and so on, and they don't have them. You can give them a smartphone and they don't use it. So it's so sad somewhat, because they would, at times like this, they would really have a lot of enjoyment out of videos and so on, but we can't just take something and say that's how you do it. They're not as easy. But anyway, I think that's my diamond painting thing for this time. Of plans, as I said, I want to finish that one, and then I want to do a page on my Heaven and Earth fox this month, as I normally do. So I can do a page finish more on him and be finished with him sometimes during the year. That's my long-term projects. And then I have also my huge project, which has been put a bit on the back burner because I really got back into my Heaven and Earth design, but that one is also going to come out again when I've done a bit more on it. So then I think I'm going to go to my floss things and show you what I've been working on here. First of all, I have my Giga Rouge, and I haven't been working more on it, and I think the reason why I didn't work on it was I was sick the first week, and I just didn't have the energy for it. All that things with counting and so on. So what I did was that I did something. I found one of the printed pieces from AliExpress that I bought. I'm just going to find it somewhere. And it's this one. It's called Listen to the Quiet, I think. Almost a full piece. And these are really nice for when you are like, sick, or just haven't had any, you don't want to count or anything. So I've done this corner down here, and I also, I think I'm just going to continue on it when I like. It's not it's not one of these pieces where I think this is going to turn out perfect or anything, but I think it's going to look good, and as a fun piece, just to have something to work on when you don't feel like counting and so on. These are really, really fun. And the fabric is so stiff that I don't need a hoop or anything for it, so I just stitched this one in hand, and I don't know if you can see the stitches, but it looks really good. And the covers is also nice on it. So these are fun, and they are just really really good to have. I've been looking, trying to see if I could find other brands than the Chinese kits, because I don't think it's not that they're not nice, but it's like the details of them isn't as good as they are on the Dimension kits or something. So if anybody knows of a brand which also do printed canvases and so on, like these ones, let me know below, because I would really like to try out some other brand than these ones. So yeah, then I worked on my I'm just going to see if I can find my Cloud Factory stitch along this year. This is based on the Grimm Brothers fairy tales, and this is January, February, and March. So up here we've got Hansel and Gretel, and we've got the Wicked Witch, and you can see that you can see how I have done on my back with this one. So you can see here that there's some threads going along. I don't know if I have to mend that, because I don't think so. It's just with the light shining through. I don't think it can be seen. Let's just see. No, you can't see. If you put some background on it, you can't see that there's a thread going back from it. So, but this is how it looks now. It's fun. I have some counting mistakes on it. I think I'm one off, not on the border, but here I think there was some counting mistakes, but you can't see it. So I haven't done anything with it. But it's fun to work on, and the fourth one has already come out, and I didn't even see what. I just registered that it was here. And I can't really remember what it is, the last one. Let's just see. I'm just going to open my computer. Let's see if I can find it. That's another thing. My husband has restored my old MacBook Pro. It's a 2011, and he's put a new SSD hard disk and so on. So now it's running really, really good. So that's so good. I'm so happy with it. So I'm just looking. I don't think that I can find it at the moment. So, but anyway, the fourth part has come out, and if you want to join it, it's on the Cloud Factory's page. And if there was something I would have done a bit different, is that I would probably have chosen another a bit darker fabric. And another thing is that my colors here, my variated colors, are not the called for, because I couldn't get them here in Europe. They were sold out everywhere. So I think these are from Dyed Color Works or something. I can't remember, but I think they're a bit more purple than not purple, more pink than what is called for. But yeah, this is my versions, and I think though it's going to be pretty when it's finished. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and I'm definitely going to stitch with it and stick with it, and I'm loving to. I'm just in love with the even weaves. I don't know. I think they're beautiful to stitch on. I really love them, and I also like. I'm more drawn to the even weave than the linens. It's just that the linen threads can be really, really thin, some of them, and then you miscount and you have to start over. Yeah, I don't have the same issues with this one. So what have I else been doing? I think then I was sitting one day, and I think it was Hobby LT, I think it's the homepage, I'm going to link them below, who had a 30% off sale, and I have been looking at a Riolis kit for a long time, and it's one which is made of a half cross, and I really wanted to try to see, because I have tried more times to see if I could make it work with half crosses as a full cover piece, because I thought that the illusion on them was or it would be easier to stitch them. But when I've done them, I didn't like the coverage on them. I like the coverage better on the full crosses. So I thought, okay, if I try to buy a piece where this is supposed to be that way, just to see how they do it and so on. So I bought this one, and I love it. I am totally in love with both the picture. I like the effect of the rain, and I think that comes from it being half crosses. You can't really see it on this one, but I love this one. I don't know if this is DMC, but the way that they do their colors, it's got, I think, how many is it? 25 colors, so it's not that colorful, but the way that they make the colors, and then the quality of the threads. I love these threads. They are thick, and they're not fluffy, or I don't know which thread this is, but the coverage on them is they're just thick, and I don't think this is DMC. If it is, no, it's Anchor. Okay, it says here it's Anchor. So these are Anchor threads, and I'm totally in love with them. I think I like these better than I like DMC and the quality of DMC. They're just beautiful to work with. I don't know. So I started this kit because I just had to. So I started this kit and been working on it a couple of nights. So I've been working, started in the middle and been working on the door, and here is as far as I have gotten. So as you can see, I'm almost completed the door, and it's beautiful. And then you can see here, you've got the half crosses here. And I really like the effect of it. I know that there's some holes and so on, but if you imagine that this is raining, then all of these holes are just raindrops, aren't they? And it gives sense to it. I think if this was going to be a normal cross stitch, I wouldn't have been happy with the coverage, because again, it seems a bit fuzzy, but when you see it as a whole, as a rainy day painting picture, it looks really good. And I'm so looking forward to seeing a bit more of it, and coming down here to where the people are going to go in. So they're starting here with their umbrellas and so on. So I think I'm going to move a bit around here, and then go up here and just fill out as much as I can. And yeah, loving to work on it. It's called what is it called? It doesn't say. It's on an 18 count Ada if you're interested in it. It's just called it, but I think it's number 1677. So, and they've also got some window ones and so on. If you want to try one of these, they're fun to do anyway. And at the same time, I found one of these ones, which is from the Russian painter Fremov. I think these ones are gorgeous, and I love her dress, and I love the way it swings, and yeah, I just really love these summer evening paintings. And this is a Russian brand, so I think that the French frets, it's not a fret that I've seen before. It's from Bulgaria, San Miguel. These are the extra frets which has come with it. Here are the color schemes, so I'm also looking forward to starting on that one just to see the quality of the thread and so on, because this is a Russian brand, so I don't know. They seem all right, the threads. They don't seem like they're fussy or anything. You can see them here. A bit fussy. I don't know if they're more fussy than these ones. These ones are just brilliant. I don't know. But it looks good. Pretty colors. And there is... oh yeah, and another thing with the this kit that I didn't show you is some people like this and some people don't like it, but the chart is in colors. I love it. I don't use an eraser or anything. I just stitch along with it because this one is more complicated. This is a black and white chart, and the fabric is here plain white Ada, and there's a needle. So yeah, but again, this kit seems to be fun to be doing, and I'm hoping to start that one also as well sometime soon. It's not that big. It's 38 times 7 times 15 centimeters, and it's got 58 colors. And this is the Russian name. I'm not going to pronounce it, but it's called Autumn Melodies. Yeah. So beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I hope it's going to turn out well. And then I bought I'm just going to put this in afterwards. Then I bought from a Danish marketplace seller this one, which is Novoslovia, a cross stitch kit, and I didn't know it at first, but I thought it was just this fun little project. But as you can see, it comes with a pre-printed canvas like this, so you only stitch the this pieces here and the butterflies and the branch and so on. So there's not much in it. And here is the colors. So it's not huge. Again, but I love, have you seen this, how they've done that? So you have to put them on the, no, they are on the, they already are on their chart. They just rolled them up. Oh yeah, you can see it here. That's gorgeous, isn't it? So that is also going to be a bit fun to do. Not a huge piece. So, and the chart and so on is also in there. And there's a needle. She never started it. So, bought it really cheap. I think I bought it for around $3 or so. So it wasn't anything. Lastly, I ordered this kit. I've been gazing at her for a while. It's an old kit though. A dimension kit. It's not a gold collection. It's just an ordinary one, and it's a 13 karat black Ada. There's a needle and there's some beads for her earrings, and they're here. So you can see the beads are here, and they come pre-sorted. So, but this is a kit from 2014, I think. So it's a pretty old kit. I really just love her and the way that she's standing, and I think she's going to be quite fun to do. I don't think that this is a huge piece because she's not full coverage as at all. You can see, for instance, on her dress that's black, and there's a lot of holes in it. So I think it's more likely the background and so on, and she could be, and the background is done with half stitches. So I think it could be really fun just to try this one as one where you stitch on black Ada, because everybody is saying that black Ada is awful to do and to work on. So so yeah, I'm like hoping that that's not the case. I was just like, okay, I'm not going to open it. So yeah, that's all that I've been doing. Not much really. It's just been yeah, a little, but it's difficult when you're so many at home and there's a lot of things that you need to do and so on. And also it's just been relaxing just to be with the children and so on. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below if you got any questions. I hope to be doing another video. Sorry, it just cut out. I hope to be doing another video soon. But take care and see you soon. Bye for now.